Hello everyone, in this video we are going to look at JavaScript statements. Now, in my previous video I used this document.write to display the welcome to the world of JavaScript text onto my browser, like so. Now these are called JavaScript statements. JavaScript statements are commands which tells the browser what to do. Okay? So in this example, this document.write command or function told the browser to display this text which is inside the single quotes. Now I said that we need this semicolon at the end of JavaScript. However, if you go to any JavaScript tutorial or videos or books or anything, or articles that talk about JavaScript, sometimes you might see JavaScript code which doesn't have a semicolon at the end. Basically, semicolons, it separates JavaScript statements, and for each statement at the end you put in a semicolon. So if we want alert hello, which we looked at in the last video, we need to separate these two statements with a semicolon in order to put it in the same line. Otherwise the browser will be confused because these are two different statements. So we do it like that. However, as long as they are in the different line, it's actually optional to end statements with a semicolon in JavaScript. So we could actually do it like this. However, it is good practice to add a semicolon at the end of each JavaScript statement. Now that is because, for one, when you look back at your JavaScript statements and when you're actually creating a relatively decent website which contains quite a lot of JavaScript code, it's easier to see each bunch or bulk of statement if it ends with a semicolon. Not like this. This is easier to see, you'll get used to it. And two, if you practice or get used to and push yourself to adding semicolons at the end of each statement, once you learn JavaScript and go to a next language such as PHP, which requires you to have semicolons at the end, it's really easy to get used to that from now on, even though it's optional. And there's also a programming language, non-web-based ones as well, which requires you to add some sort of symbol at the end of each statement. So it's really good practice to get used to that at this stage, because JavaScript is actually a really easy language to learn, a challenging language to master, and semicolon is optional, but it's recommended. Now, when we have functions, we could create functions. I'll talk about how to create functions in my later videos, but then we could create a function and we could give it a name. So for example, when we create a form validator which checks whether you have entered the first name, we could write a function called entered first name and give it some code, like code here to check. So like so. Sorry. Now JavaScript is case sensitive, which means that if we have a function with the name entered first name, you see we have F and N in capital letters. Now if we create another function with entered first name, this and this are two different names in JavaScript. Although they're the same entered first name, because JavaScript is case sensitive and the cases are not the same for these two, this and this are two complete different stuff. So if we created a function with the name this, and later on in your document you wanted to call this function and you wrote this, it won't work because those two are considered to be two different names, or text in JavaScript. Now, say for example we have x equals 5. So we are saying that x is now equals to 5. So like x plus 3 now equals 8 and stuff. Okay, now when we look at this x equals 5, this white space we have in between x and a space and 5 is ignored in JavaScript, because JavaScript actually ignores extra spaces. Now the reason why I added this space in between these two places is because it's actually easier to read the lines later on if we have spaces like this. It's basically clean and clear, and it's just easier to see. And also, when you want to break up a code, for example, let's delete that. Actually, this is easier. There we go. When we want to break up for some random reason a code, you could do it by using a backslash. Now, you can use it with a backslash if it's within a text string. Okay, so if you want to break it up somewhere here, we could use a backslash and then write it in a new line like so. And let's save it and refresh. There we go. Even if I refresh, the text doesn't change because I used this backslash to write this on a new line, and this backslash doesn't get recognized as a text and gets ignored. Not ignored, but it's used to link these two together in JavaScript, which is why the text is all in one same line. However, we can't do, for example, document dot and then backslash and then this. Breaking up a code like this won't work. Okay, so that's basically a couple of basic rules of JavaScript, and I talked about the JavaScript. I talked about the JavaScript statement. Now, in my next video, I will talk about variables in JavaScript, and I could talk about comments, because comments only takes about 10 seconds, just like talking about HTML and CSS comments. I will basically talk about variables in JavaScript. That's when some of the fun starts. So thanks for watching, and see you later.